Hey everybody, welcome back to the Maniac. I am Kathy, and today I'm going to show you how I work through figuring out a design. I had an idea for kind of what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to use a new color by Sparkle & Co. called North Star Glow. It is a white glow-in-the-dark color. I couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted to do with it. And then I thought, what if I layer it under something so the stars shine out from underneath? And so I'm going to show you how I work through that process as I'm putting it on. Most of the time you guys see I've already done one hand when I make the video to show you the other hand. And this time I didn't do that. I actually walked you through the process of, oh, that really didn't work out. Well, how are we going to do it differently? So that you can see kind of how I go about creating some of the art. So this is what we're going to do today. This white color is that North Star Glow. It does glow in the dark, and I'll show you some pictures at the end. Got a beautiful indigo wishes and the shimmering sapphire over top. So we're going to do this look today. So let's get going. I have already filed, pushed back my cuticles, and I've already put on pH Prep Sparkle & Co. to prep my nails. So as I always do, I'm going to put a couple dips of clear underneath. Again, there's so many ways that you can remove the dip powder. You can soak it in acetone. You can file it off, which is what I usually choose to do. So the reason I'll put a couple clear coats on underneath is so that as I'm filing off the dip powder, once the color is gone, I know I'm almost to my natural nail. And so I'm never filing directly onto my natural nail. And that way I can file down without soaking it off every time. And then once I do get down to the clear, I just buff that out, make sure it's smooth, and then I put another clear coat, and then I put my new color on for the week. This eliminates me having to soak off my dip every single week. I hate putting my fingers in acetone. I did it today because I had a couple of my nail tips come off during the week and I just didn't have time to redo them the right way. So I basically just filed and then dipped it straight into color. And so I had to get that off so you can see like my fingers are all dry where the acetone dried it out. And it's not my favorite thing. So I try and eliminate soaking in acetone as much as is possible. I mean, you got to take it off eventually, but I can just fill it in with another coat of clear and keep going. And that is much better because then I don't have to worry about you know, soaking in that acetone, putting my fingers and my nails through that. Acetone is really harsh, and so obviously it's useful for removing, but it also does kind of take a toll on your nails and your skin. So I just try and avoid that as much as I can. So I'm just putting on my second clear coat here, and this is just a personal preference. There's no rule that says that you have to do this. If you want to soak the dip powder off every week, or if you change your mani every couple weeks, I'm constantly shooting videos, so I change my manicure quite often, at least once a week usually, if not more. So I try and do as little of that acetone as possible. So again, for those of you who are newish to dipping, make sure that you are putting the base bond on, you know, a hairline away from the cuticle and side walls. You want to get a good thin, even coat on there, but you don't want it touching on your skin. So you can see it just goes just to right here. So it's not actually coming up onto my skin. You can, hopefully you can see just a little round right there where it's not touching my skin. So if it does touch your skin, it usually lifts faster, and it will just start to come off around the edges, and they can get kind of lumpy and bumpy. So just try not to get that onto your cuticle. Make sure you clean off the brush before you go and put it on, because that will help keep the coat nice and thin and even, and that's really what you want. So okay, so today we're gonna do that fun kind of star theme, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do until I had the bright idea. I knew I really wanted to use this new color from Sparkle & Co, North Star Glow. It's just a white and it glows, and I really have been wanting to use it, and I just haven't been able to figure it out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Indigo Wishes kind of as my accent, and then I'll do 2 of the Shimmering Sapphire, and then we're going to do North Star Glow and put those stars on it so that the North Star Glow underneath will glow through the top, and so we'll do the Shimmering Sapphire over top of that. So it's going to look really, really cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my middle finger here. This is going to be my accent with the Indigo Wishes. With these chunkier glitters, and I know I've mentioned this before in other videos, you want to just lay your finger across the top and give it a second. Just tap. And then I'm just going to take my finger and tap just to flatten out these. You can see them standing up, these big chunkier glitters. All right. And then what we want to do is take you can use a cuticle stick, anything, to just go around the edges and make sure that none of it is touching the sidewall or the cuticle edge. And you know, with these bigger chunks, even though you put the base bond a hairline away, they're actually still gonna sit kind of onto the cuticle or sidewall because they are bigger pieces. Okay, that looks perfect. I like it. So we're gonna go in with base bond, and then I'm gonna do a clear coat on top, just so that when we go to buff, we're not gonna have it's not going to be all lumpy. If you need to, you can put 2 coats of this. I'm really careful about it, so I want to make sure that I get it in 1 coat if at all possible, which I was able to this time. Sometimes, you know, the base bond is a glue, it's a resin, it dries quickly. So sometimes by the time you go to dip it, a little piece won't stick. You can see here that the dip powder, because there's clear powder in all of these dips to make them adhere, especially these ones with sparkles, and you can see the white that was just there. If you don't shake that out, that can kind of make it look like a bald patch, even though it's not. There's dip there, but it's just not picking up the sparkle. So you always want to shake it flat in between each dip if you're doing multiple fingers. Then that way you know you're going to get a more even coat over top. In fact, I think I'm going to do a second Indigo Wishes over here because I really like it. So again, nice thin even coat, just a hairline away from the cuticle and sidewall. Gonna just lay this right across the top. And give it a second, because if you tap it too fast, it might come off. And then again, we're just gonna go through and just tap down those big chunkier glitters. So you can see here, gonna just tap it until they are all lying flat. That way when we go to put on the clear coat, it's already kind of flat. That clear coat can just kind of go right over top, and we won't have any issues with that. So just going just right up against my cuticle, because again, I would rather have a little bit of space than you know, have it lift off. So the dip powder itself, for those of you who haven't used it before, if you have, you probably, one of the reasons why you like it so much is that it stays. I mean, you can get 2, 3, I've seen people even 4 weeks in with their dipping powder still perfectly intact. So, you know, it can last a long time. But if you put it against the cuticle and the sidewalls, again, it can lift. And if it starts lifting, it's going to eventually come off. So we just want to make sure we get that nice and thin, even. What does happen to me sometimes with these chunkier glitters is you can see like around the edge here, they're kind of sticking up and it's not really that smooth. So I think I'll probably end up even putting another coat of clear over top of that. Brush off the excess. So you can see how it's kind of gritty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another clear coat over these just. Okay, second clear coat. You know, I always tell people when they ask me about dipping powder, and I always say, if you can paint your nails, you can dip. But, you know, you're trying to balance and do so many things at once. There is definitely a learning curve to it. So I would never want someone to expect that they're just going to come in and, you know, be able to just do the dip and it's going to be perfect. It takes some time to figure out the different dips, the different consistencies and all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind if you are kind of new to dipping, that, you know, it might take you a little bit to kind of get that, you know, that flow down. So, all right. So I think what I'm going to do on this hand, I'm trying to decide, let's see. So these are the stencils that I'm going to use, and I just got them like in this, I'll show you, came in this whole pack of stuff on Amazon, just like striping tape of different sorts and things like that. I will find the link and put it in the show notes for you guys in case. And it just comes with this little packet of stencils. So there's like clouds, snowflakes, these little diamondy triangle things. So the whole pack has different stuff in it. And this one has lips and heart. You know, so this would be really cute if you're gonna do, you know, red underneath and then something else, and you can have the lips look like they're coming out from the dip, which is what we're gonna aim to do with this starry background here. I'm just trying to figure out if I can get 2 out of 2 fingers, because I kind of would like to do the stars on 2 and then the plain. Let's do that. Let's just try. Let's just give it a whirl. That's what we're all about, right? Just checking things out, trying new things. All right, so this is going to be our straight shimmering sapphire. This is a beautiful, just shimmery blue. You're gonna go crazy when you see how pretty this is once we put the glossy coat on. It's just, I mean, you can see it's like a foil color, so it's so pretty. So I've been waiting to use it for like, it feels like forever. Hasn't really been forever, but sure feels like it. All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put the white down on these 2, and then we'll cut up the stencil and see if we can get this to work. I've never tried stencils with dip powder before. I'm a little bit nervous because I don't really know how it's gonna come out. This white looks like we're gonna need 2 coats. It is a little bit softer white, but it glows in the dark, so, you know, that's awesome. Pretty excited about it. Okay, I'll just dust off excess here. My poor table, it's just got layers of dip powder on it. You want to, you know, give these a minute. You don't want to brush them before they've had a chance to like harden. So I'm wondering if these will glow. Oh, yep. I just put it, I don't know if you can see. Probably not. It's not quite dark enough. Let me see if I charge it up under the light. Can you see it glowing a little bit? See? It's a little bit green. Anyway, let's see here. So let's cut up this stencil. Get out our little scissors. I stabbed myself with these scissors the other day. Good going, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this kind of in half. Grab some tweezers. See if we can pick this up. I'm just debating if I should finish it. You know what? I'm gonna put some Solidify. How am I gonna do this? I'm afraid if I put the sticker on here, it's gonna like peel off the powder when I peel it. All right, so let's try. So we're gonna pull these little stars out. And cover. So basically we're just making like a negative space. We'll see if this works on this one. And give it a try. There we go. Phew, worried me there for a minute. I might get the corners up. Come on. They don't wanna. The fun part is gonna be trying to get these suckers off of here, right? I think that one's too big. Let's use this next size down. All right, so these little stars will just cover up the white. Hopefully, if we get them on well enough, they'll keep the stuff from moving. All right, let's try it. There's no time like the present. Okay, into our Shimmering Sapphire. See, that didn't stick on that side. I didn't get enough. Do it again. We might lose these little guys under here. Wipe my brush before I put it back in. Okay, that is a little better. Okay, let's see. Woohoo! Look at that. If I can find these other guys, right? Where did I put them? Okay. Did not think this through, huh? I've got the edge there. Won't come up. I'm ruining the effect. There it goes. It was just like too deep in there. All right, so maybe we should only use the big ones. The little ones are not as good. All right, well, I think we had one more on there, but to be honest, I am not 100% sure I'll be able to find it. Okay, well, that was definitely some experiment, huh? All right, so, see, it's gonna bug me because I know there's another one under there. All right. Clear coat. So the big ones work. We should do them off the edge, I think. Right? Okay, so let's give this a try down here. Big star. So we definitely need to have hanging off the edge so we can pull it up easier. But I think it'll still give us enough of the shape that will be good to go. I'm going to put one of these not quite so big ones. Coming off this side. Oh, that's too big. This one. This guy. Yeah. Put him coming off the edge though, so that we can find him. Okay. See, as I suspected, they don't like to really stick because the powder is, you know, powdery. So it's like, I can't stick to this. Let me up. Let me out of here. Uh-oh. Get down there, you. Oh. All right. Give it a whirl. One, not so good. Two, that one's a little better. Three, okay. Yes. This one, not great, but that's all right. We'll survive. That's the fun. I'll do the other hand with our tried and true. And that will be the one that you see in the end. I always have to show you what looks best, right? Okay, some clear coat to protect that. So I always put clear over top too, and I know I say it all the time, but it kind of protects that as we're gonna, you know, just probably buff it just a tiny bit, just to make sure the shape is good and all that kind of stuff. We want to make sure we give that a nice cover. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go in with our Solidify. We'll start with our Indigo Wishes. Such a pretty color. You can just see the sparkle start to come out when you put that Solidify on there. Superstars. Well, it's not perfect, but you know, what in life is perfect? I say pretty much nothing. All right, so I'm just gonna give these a good buff just to make sure there's no, you know, the edges are nice and smooth. They kind of come up at a little slope from the side wall and again from the cuticle. And there's not any rough spots. Check all the angles. Okay, one down. Okay, another coat of Solidify. And then we're ready for our glossy. All right, so we let that get set up there. Give that solidified just a minute. It's the activator of this process, so it's gonna harden the glue that's holding that dip in place for us. Not too bad. I mean, we definitely did okay our second try. This one's not too bad. This is probably gonna bother me, but you know, all in good fun. All right, so Glossy Coat we're gonna put on twice. First time, by the time we get done with all the nails, we'll go back and do our second coat. It is pretty. See how shiny it gets after that second glossy coat goes on. All right, there we have it. This is a fun blue inspired stars.
All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video working through that design today. As always, Sparkle & Co. has such phenomenal colors and products. Their customer service is great. I always tell everybody about them because they're just so phenomenal. I love wearing their products. So I have put all of that information down in the show notes for you guys. You do get a referral credit when you place your first order, as well as if you sign up for that subscription box. They do have different levels of the subscription boxes, and it's pretty much the only subscription box that I have all the time. I cannot live without it. I totally love getting it every month. Christy, the owner, is so inventive. So if you do place an order, make sure you put Kathy DeSoto in the notes, and you will get that $9 credit for your first order and also an $18 credit for your subscription bag order if you choose to place one of the dip bags or higher. I have the I Want It All bag, and I just totally love it. On my channel, I've got some unboxing videos, so you can check those out. If you do have any questions, comments, please put them below. I love to hear from you. If you have any ideas for upcoming videos or something you'd like to see, please don't hesitate to hit me in the comments down below, and make sure that you subscribe to the Maniac so that you don't miss any upcoming content, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when they're out. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time on the Maniac.